Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Avisk. Welcome back to an episode. In today's video, we're finally going to do a comparison between the Tacticool and an AWP, of course. So for all the people that do not want to watch the full video, of course, just a quick answer to that question. The Tacticool is quite powerful, but not as powerful as an AWP. It's also not as reliable when shooting through walls, so just keep that in mind. But I think personally, the Tacticool might be the more competitive option overall. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And now, of course, for all the other people that still want to watch the comparison, let's just start right here. So of course, we're going to compare the two guns in a few different categories. The first one is of course ammunition. Next up of course is going to be reliability. Next up of course we're going to compare the guns in competitiveness, so how good they would be in a competitive fight, and then of course some other things as well which we're going to talk about afterwards. So I think this is going to be quite an interesting comparison. So now of course let's start with our first gun right here, which is going to be the Tacticool. So yeah, first up of course, like I said, ammunition. The Tacticool has 3 bullets right here, as we can see. Overall it's quite a nice weapon and does look quite nice, has a very awesome model. Both of these guns, by the way, the Tacticool and the AWP, have a very special feature. Both of them can scope, of course. Unfortunately though, if you have a very low sensitivity and you normally play with a low sensitivity, if you scope it's even lower than this. So yeah, I never really use the scope feature since it's quite useless for me. As you can see, I really have to move my mouse quite a lot to even move it a tiny bit. So I hope maybe in the near future they can fix this. Also, if you're scoping in first person, which is by the way only possible in first person, well, you can sometimes see the gun in the first person view, which is a little bit distracting to be honest. Anyway, so those are the most important things about the Tacticool. Next up of course, reliability. So as every other gun in knife ability does, of course, the Tacticool one-shots enemies and is quite powerful. It's a very used weapon in the game right here, probably one of the most used weapons overall, but unfortunately with its unique feature, which is shooting through walls, it's not that reliable. So let me explain this a little bit further. So the Tacticool has, like I said, the unique feature of being able to shoot through walls. Unfortunately though, it sometimes doesn't work. There you go, that was the first example. We saw some blood particles, which only happen if you would technically hit an enemy, but we can see we're not able to shoot through the wall, even though it's the unique feature of the Tacticool. And sometimes I think it just really depends on how thick the wall itself is. But then again, right here, we cannot even shoot through this wall. We cannot shoot through this wall. Let's see. There you go. It's not working whatsoever. And I'm not fully sure why that's the case, but you can see it's not reliable whatsoever. And well, we just have to kill the person right there normally without shooting through the wall. So I'm not fully sure what the limitations are right here for the Tacticool. So we just saw that the Tacticool is not that reliable when shooting through walls. It does work sometimes, but more than often enough, as you can see right there, it just doesn't want to work. So yeah, it's not that reliable in that aspect. Other than that though, it's a very awesome weapon overall, and I'm quite a huge fan of it. Sometimes, like I said, it does work and you're able to shoot through walls. Back in the days, I think it mostly worked when you were scoping, but also it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So yeah, it's quite unfortunate. So now of course, competitiveness. This one is actually quite important for a lot of players. So now you might be wondering, what do you mean with competitiveness? Of course, it's very important for someone who's playing in a competitive match or in a 1v1 to pull out the gun as fast as possible, and of course to be able to shoot very fast as soon as you pull it out. So our next comparison is going to be how long does it take to pull out the gun and then actually shoot the gun. So it's a very important thing actually if you think about it. So let's just see if this one actually is quite fast. So I'm going to count down from 3 to 0, and then we're going to shoot the weapon as soon as we can after pulling it out, of course. So let's just do that. 3, 2, 1, go. And to be honest, that was very quickly. I think this one is going to be a lot faster than the AWP as far as I'm concerned. The pullout time from the AWP is a lot longer, so I think this one is definitely going for the Tacticool right here. And yeah, overall, like I said, special feature is scoping, which is quite unusable. It's not that reliable when shooting through walls, but of course it's still one-shots as every single gun in knife ability test, besides the USPS and some other exceptions like the paintball gun. But yeah, this one, as every normal revolver does one-shot, sometimes is able to wallbang, so quite a nice gun overall, to be honest. So now of course our second weapon right here, which is going to be the AWP. Since I don't have a regular AWP or the new AWP, we're going to be using the Def AWP. They're all the same, so just keep that in mind. And this one actually does look very awesome. It's one of my favorite ones, to be honest. Anyway, so first up, ammunition, and we can see that this category is definitely won by the AWP since it has 10 bullets, which is, well, a lot more of course than the Tacticool, 3 times more plus 1 bullet then. So yeah, overall this is definitely a category for the AWP. So next up of of course, we also have the special feature of scoping. Once again, same issue as we had for the previous weapon, the Tacticool. It's very, very slow, and I wouldn't really use the scoping feature since it doesn't really work for me that well. So yeah, that might be just a me issue since I have a very low sensitivity on Roblox in general, so just keep that in mind. So now, of course, reliability when shooting through walls. So we're just gonna stay right here, and well, what do we see? We're gonna actually get the kill in a second. It's just very delayed and very laggy, but the AWP is highly reliable and definitely a lot more reliable than, of course, our Tacticool. It definitely shoots a lot more frequently for walls than the Tacticool, but then, of course, there's a downside. With the Tacticool, you still get gems if you kill someone. With the AWP, you do not get gems when you kill someone, so that's definitely a downside for the AWP right here. But if we just check actually where my ult account is sitting at, we can see, or at least I see on my second screen, that my ult account is sitting right over here. So let's just actually try to wallbang through quite a lot of walls. So we can see we move it right there, just gonna scope, and then let's just try to wallbang somehow. There you go, and it shot probably through, I think, like 3 walls right here. So we can see this one is definitely highly reliable and actually pushed my ult account quite far away. So of course, now we're going to place our ult account at the top of the map right there on our right side. It's going to be placed right behind this wall. We can already see it right there, the tiny arm right there. So now, of course, let's just walk to the other side of the map, of course. Just align this shot right here, and let's see if we can get the wall bang. So our ult account is right there. Let's see if we can align this a little bit better. So there's the ult account. Should be somewhere around there. And there you go, we shot through 1 wall, 2 walls, 3 walls, maybe like 4 walls, I think. So what do we learn from this? Our AWP is very, very, very reliable. So now, of course, the next and last part is going to be the competitiveness. So once again, we're going to count down from 3 to 1, of course. And then, of course, we're going to try to shoot as fast as possible. So 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm pretty certain this was quite a bit slower, so in competitiveness, I think the Tacticool definitely has an advantage right there, which is probably why you see most people use a Tacticool in, of course, 1v1s. And to be honest, I think it's actually more fair to use a Tacticool since the AWP is actually quite broken. Regardless of that, of course, now we have the answer. The AWP is overall the better choice, but for every new player, I highly suggest to get the Tacticool in the shop, of course. It's only 2,000 gems, and it might seem like a lot at first, but you can actually get 2,000 gems quite easily and within no time, to be honest. So I would highly suggest anyone to get, of course, the Tacticool. It's a really, really reliable weapon. It's really fun to use, and it's definitely quite competitive. It's, I think, one of the best weapons in the game. But of course, once again, as I've already said by now, the AWP is definitely more reliable. It's definitely better in wall banging or shooting through walls in general. And of course, it has more ammunition. So overall, I think the AWP is probably the better choice if you have an option to get it, of course. But if you're stuck with a Tacticool, don't be sad. It's still a very good weapon. It's kind of a mini version, I guess, of an AWP. We can probably call it that. It's like the son or the daughter of an AWP. So I hope you enjoyed this comparison. I hope you had a bit of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and well, I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Alright, boys and girls, so before we do actually end today's episode, there's one more very important thing that I have to showcase you guys. Both the AWP and of course the Tacticool have a very, very special ability. Of course, they can kill multiple enemies with just 1 bullet. In comparison, of course, we're going to be using a different weapon just to showcase that this feature is of course exclusive to the Tacticool and the AWP. So first up, let's just use a regular pistol. In this case, we're just going to use the Golden Colt right here. Just going to shoot one of them, and you can see only one of them actually dies. Now if we do the same thing, of course, with the Tacticool or the AWP, we're going to see a different result. So there we go. Now we have both of my ult accounts lined up once again, and let's just shoot them with the Tacticool, and there you go. We got a double kill. It actually shoots for multiple enemies. I'm not fully sure if there's actually a limit for how many people you can kill with 1 bullet, but of course the same thing is going to apply for the AWP. So let's just equip that one really quickly. So there we go. We have lined up both of the ult accounts once again. Now of course the AWP can do the exact same thing. So there's one more situation which we can actually try out, which is going to be using the Tacticool, being behind the wall and trying to shoot not only through the wall but also through 2 people, of course. So let's just give that one a try, and let's see if that's possible with our Tacticool right here. Theoretically, that should be possible since it's able to shoot through walls and it's also able to shoot for multiple enemies. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna align both of our ult accounts. So now of course I have to move the other ult account right there. Just gotta move this guy a little bit. Perfect. Let me just move him to the side. And the second ult account, I'm just going to showcase you guys that both of them are right behind the wall, so you can believe me, of course. There we go. You can see both of them are aligned right here behind the wall. So all we have to do now, of course, let's see. So there you go. As you can see, we got both of them with just one bullet through a wall, so it is possible, of course, with the Tacticool. So now, of course, we're gonna do the same thing for the AWP. We're gonna spice it up a little bit and make it a little bit more challenging, since the AWP is overall, at least in my opinion, a better weapon. So of course, what we're gonna do, we're gonna place both of our alt accounts in the same location as we did previously. And now, of course, what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to shoot not only through the wall, but also through the fountain. They should be right behind that wall, so let's just try that. There you go, perfect. We got both of them through pretty much 2 walls, and then also both of the guys right there. So as you can see, AWP most likely going to be a lot more reliable and can also do the same thing. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful day, stay safe, stay hydrated, and well, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.